Alright ladies, have you ever been with a man who said all the right things, okay, but something just felt off in your gut? He complimented you, showed you affection, but deep down you were still wondering, is he truly drawn to who I am or just what I give him? Because the truth is that a man's body language always reveals his true intentions long before his words do. And when you learn to decode his behavior, you see the difference between lust and love. Now, what does that mean for you? It means that a man can be physically affectionate, and if you don't know how to read the signs, he might be just wasting your time with false promises. I mean, he can say everything that you want to hear and only show up when it benefits him. So then the question is, are you paying attention to the real signs, or are you getting distracted by the wrong ones? If you're new to the channel, my name is Ismael Gomez, and today I'm breaking down the male body language cues that separate lust from love. And also stay until the end, okay, because I have a special surprise for those of you who want to work directly with me to attract authentic love from a loyal man. Alright, so let's begin. Number 1. He only holds eye contact when it leads to intimacy. One of the most misleading signs that you ladies fall for is intense eye contact. You feel his gaze and it feels personal, intimate, like he's seeing you, but I want you to look a little closer. And when does he lock eyes with you? Because that is everything. Does he hold eye contact when you're in the middle of sharing something vulnerable? You know, like a story about your past or your goals for the future? Or is it only when things are quiet, flirty, or leading toward intimacy? If he only looks at you with intensity during physical tension or sexual moments, that is not connection, that's anticipation. And that anticipation is often tied to lust and not love. You know, many times I actually suggest my clients telling a boring story to the guy that they're dating just to see how engaged he actually is. Because genuine romantic presence shows up when there's nothing in it for him, okay? When he's not trying to build up chemistry or escalate things physically. A man who's truly interested in you is going to hold your gaze while you speak, or you laugh, or you explain something that you care about. He's not just observing you, he is absorbing you. In this kind of eye contact, I don't know if you had the experience, but it feels different, okay? It's not piercing, it's grounding. You don't feel the heat, you feel calm, right? It's not about seduction, it's about safety. So next time that you're with a man, just pay attention to this. Does he look deeply into your eyes when the conversation gets real, you know, authentic, genuine? Or does he seem to drift, get distracted, or only lock in when things get flirty or sexual? Some men make eye contact to lead the moment, to steer it towards something that they want. But a man who's emotionally present, he looks at you like he's listening, even when you're not saying much, okay? He doesn't just stare when he wants to touch you. He holds your gaze because he wants to get to know the real you. Number 2. His affection disappears when you set boundaries. Let's say that you're having an amazing time with a man, okay? You're laughing, flirting, maybe touching. He's charming, warm, fully present, but then something shifts. You speak up about something, or maybe you say no, or you ask for space, or you bring out something serious, right? And suddenly the energy completely changes. His body leans back. He stops smiling, he gives short answers, or maybe he even walks away. That right there is a real test of a man's intentions. Because a man who's truly invested in you, he doesn't pull away when he doesn't get his way. He doesn't become cold just because you didn't say yes to every advance or every request that he had. In fact, that's when his character reveals itself. And maybe he did this in the past in other relationships and it worked for him, but this is your relationship now and you say what your standards are. A man driven by lust, again, he's only affectionate when it benefits him. He's warm when there's a potential reward. You're going to notice it. It's going to be subtle. You're going to see less interest, less presence, less effort, and that is not punishment, it's disinterest. Because connection was never the goal for him, it was compliance. True emotional attraction survives friction. It deepens through boundaries, not in spite of them. So ask yourself, does he lean in when things slow down? When you ask for emotional clarity, when you're not trying to please him? Or does his affection fade like a spotlight on a stage, only bright when you're playing the part that he wants? Because when a man remains warm warm. After you set a boundary, that's when you know that his interest is authentic. He's not just showing up for what you offer, he's staying for who you are. Now, there's a caveat for this, okay? Like some young guys are still a bit immature and they might react this way early on. You know, they get excited, they push limits, and then hopefully they grow out of it. But if you're dealing with a grown man past 30, maybe he's in his 40s, 50s, or 60s, okay, and he doesn't understand basic boundaries, then I think you already know what my advice is. And final, number 3, he mirrors your stillness, not just your excitement. Now, I know that you probably heard this one before. You know, when someone is interested in you, they're going to mirror your behavior, right? You laugh, he laughs, you tease, he teases back. And yes, that can be a sign of attraction. But what most of you miss is that manipulators are great at doing this. In fact, mirroring is one of the easiest ways to build false rapport quickly, because lust, and especially manipulation, mirrors excitement, okay? It feeds off dopamine, novelty, and momentum. It's fast, reactive, and surface level. But love mirrors your stillness. It's so easy for a man to match your energy when you're bubbly, playful, or flirty, right? When the moment is light, there's no risk in that. But watch what happens when your energy softens, when you get quiet, when you slow down. You know, I remember when I was in my early 20s going through all of this, and I didn't understand the difference between lust and love. And sometimes, let's say I will be intimate with a girl, and right after she would start talking to me, and all I wanted to do was just leave the place. And I would think, you know, wow, like I really liked this girl so much, so why did I suddenly feel like I needed to get out of there? And slowly I started realizing that it was not a true connection, it was just me lusting after women. But now I can tell you that with my partner, man, I could talk to her for hours, you know, no rush, no urgency, because with love, the connection doesn't end with the physical, it deepens after it. So again, the difference is that a man who's connected to you emotionally, he sinks into your presence. He doesn't interrupt, he's listening, okay? He nods at the right moments because he's kind of like tracking your thoughts. And that's what sinking looks like. And it's not a show, it's a nervous system response. He's literally attuning to you, you know, to your thoughts, to the way that you speak, to your calmness. But if a man is only interested in the high energy side of you, you know, but disappears emotionally the moment that things get real and slow down, he's not bonding with you, he's bonding with that version of you that only entertains him. Alright ladies, so now that we're almost at the end of the video, as I said at the beginning, I have a new opportunity for those of you who want to work with me, okay? So here it is. If you are a woman living in the US or Canada, and you're tired of wasting time trying to figure out men, dating, and relationships, this week I'm looking for 10 of you that I can personally coach. I don't know if you've seen the testimonies on my website, but every month this is something that I do, okay? I come here and I choose 10 of you and I help you attract lasting commitment with a loyal man without manipulation, without games, without chasing, or settling for less. So if you want the details about pricing, what's included, and how everything works, just comment the word transformation below and I'll reply with the link to apply. I know a lot of you have been watching my videos for months and maybe you've had that voice in the back of your mind, hey, like maybe it's time to take action to change your life. So this right here is your opportunity to finally do it. Because like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change, okay? Have a beautiful day.